Let me give you a little analogy for enlightenment. Let's consider this an hourglass right here. And everything in your mind, everything that you'd want to share, comes through your mouth and it trickles out. And, one of the challenges with enlightenment is what it works on is giving you access to the rest of your real mind. And so you have this expansion, and everything that was in your subconscious is now online. But you see, all the stuff in your mind has to funnel through your mouth in a linear fashion. And what transforms in transformation enlightenment is that the ego is no longer the basis of the experience of life, and one's consciousness is. And what this does is it eliminates analytical thinking. And so you start to just see things visually, pattern recognition everywhere you go. That your imagination is no longer a viewing lens for your past. You're no longer living in fear of the future. It's actually a disconnection from the illusion of self separate from the external reality. The problem is you still talk with the mouth. And sharing this experience to another ego causes them to just analyze it, agree, disagree, negate. And so the path of enlightenment has taken on many forms, whether it was Buddhist meditation, whether it was the kingdom of God presented by Jesus in a more ontological framework, if it's modern practices, if it's things like the power of now, where you talk about Eckhart Tolle found the same thing. There's a universal phenomenon of consciousness, and everybody has within their subconscious a universe. And everything that you see outside of yourself forms. You have so much intelligence, the moment you open your eyes, an entire universe takes form with no effort. And when your imagination participates, you get a second universe that's an overlay, where you see things that could happen in the future accurately and uncontaminated by fear. Imagine what your life would look like without the fear of failure, the fear of abandonment, the fear of rejection. Imagine if you didn't have that anymore. Imagine if you didn't have to think about yourself before you took action. There would be no rejection. There would be no failure. There would just be what you can do. And it would be just an authentic evaluation of the external world. And you don't need to know everything, because guess what? Without the ego analyzing, disqualifying, qualifying, and worrying and causing you confusion, ideas and paths form in your imagination. This is like God's GPS. And so it's like your brain becomes a visual ChatGPT that does all the work for you. That coming up with ideas and creativity no longer requires effort. But people that have experienced this do not look different to other people, nor do they sound different. Because when you try to take everything from within your mind and share it, you can't, especially given how much it's expanded. And so what did people do? Is they made methods, methodology. But you see, the methods to the ego, they become philosophies, they become dogma. Because the ego cannot relate. The ego is colorblind to the existence of this within you and has no access. They're blocked. If they analyze, if they judge, if they critique, if they negate. And people that experience objectivity, well, they violate the egos of everybody. And that becomes the basis of trying to share these experiences. And so people that want to share them try to create methods or direct people to how they can find it for themselves.